Welcome to the Radiant Grace Podcast. I'm Rachel, and this is where we learn to find Jesus in our broken pieces. I didn't expect my podcast to begin like this. Not in the middle of fear, not in the middle of exhaustion. But here we are. I'm recording this with shaky hands and a tired heart. Not because I feel ready, but because I feel called. I've been struggling with anxiety and fear lately. The past 4 years have been filled with health challenges. Finally, at the beginning of this year, I was diagnosed with functional neurological disorder, FND, a condition that affects my movement, my thinking, and even how I experience the world. In November, our family was in a terrible car accident. Recovering from everything, physically, emotionally, spiritually, has left me feeling unsteady and drained. The thought of publishing this podcast and launching my website suddenly feels terrifying. Not because I don't want to help people, but because I don't feel qualified. I don't feel like I have anything worthy to teach. I'm still walking through my own trials. I'm still trying to understand my storms. And most days, I just feel weak. But maybe that's exactly why this episode needed to exist. Here's the truth. I don't have all the answers, and I'm not coming to you from a place of perfection. Most days, I wake up exhausted. Some days, my head pounds. My mind feels heavy. My body doesn't cooperate. And my prayers seem to stop at the ceiling. Living with constant physical, emotional, and spiritual challenges takes a toll. And honestly, some days, even hitting record feels like too much. But as the fear pressed in, something quiet nudged my heart. God uses the weak things of the world, not the polished, not the perfect, not the ones who have it all together. He uses the broken, the tired, the trembling, and the willing. As I sat with my fear, these scriptures came to my mind. Not verses for the confident, but scriptures meant for people like me. And by the weak things of the earth, the Lord shall thresh the nations by the power of his Spirit. God has chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty, that the fullness of my gospel might be proclaimed by the weak and the simple unto the ends of the world. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. I will strengthen thee. I will uphold thee. Be strong and of a good courage, for the Lord thy God is with thee, whithersoever thou goest. Now, these verses aren't meant for the polished or the powerful. They're for the weary, for the unqualified, for those who feel like they don't have much to offer, for people like me, for people like you. Maybe we don't need to be healed to offer hope. Maybe we don't need to be strong to speak strength. Maybe God isn't waiting for us to be perfect, just present. What if the very things I'm afraid of, my inadequacies, my shaking voice, my FND brain, are the things that God wants to use? What if my weakness isn't the obstacle? What if it's my purpose? If you've ever felt unqualified, if you've ever felt like your story isn't shiny enough, if you've ever held back because you thought you needed to be stronger first, you are not alone. And maybe, just maybe, God is inviting you to show up exactly as you are. This podcast won't be a place where I preach at you. It will be a place where I walk with you, where we talk about fear and faith, weakness and grace, healing and heartbreak, light and shadows. We're not here because we're experts. We're here because we're human, and because God has a pattern of taking ordinary, hurting, hopeful people and shining through them. Thank you truly for being here with me, for letting me show up imperfectly, for giving me space to share my heart while it's still healing. If all you can do today is breathe, then that's enough. If all you can manage is a small step, that's enough. If your voice trembles, or your heart shakes, or you feel your faith weak, God encircles you in the arms of His love, and that's enough. Together, we will walk this path, not as perfect people, but as people learning to trust God with the pieces. Now, before we go today, I want to leave you with this gentle reflection. Where is God asking you to show up, even if you don't feel ready? It might be something small. It might feel overwhelming. It might even feel impossible. But your presence, even in the middle of the mess, is enough. If today reminded you that God can work with imperfect beginnings, would you share this episode with someone who might need that encouragement too? If you would like to learn more about me and my journey, or get notified when new episodes are released, please join my community at radiantjoywithrachel.com.